Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So, today's topic is, can you really stop taking medicine for good? So, we're going to dive into this today. So, thanks for joining my live stream. And later today, this will be on my podcast, The Vibrant Soul Society, The Conversations. And my mission is really to help people discover that they are greater than their thoughts, and also to see that their diagnosis is not destiny. So we need to tap into this deeper place and be who we are, this vibrant soul. So thanks for your likes, your comments, your subscribes. It really helps get this message out there that we are a vibrant soul, that we are limitless, but we have all these stories. So my own personal story, where I was stuck on all this medicine, with bipolar, multiple sclerosis, migraines, psoriasis, arthritis, and the list keeps on going. And I was thinking, I was completely identified with that story that I am a sick man. So someone gave me this identity. So who gave you your identity? I was seeing all these doctors, and they just reinforced the story. And then I was reading everything I could about my diagnosis, my medicines, and it was really keeping me trapped into this world. So we need to see, does this medicine really need to be in place forever? And I'll share a little bit about my story, that I was convinced that I was going to need medicine forever for my multiple sclerosis, my bipolar, the migraines, etc. Because that was my reality. That was my belief system. But today I'm not taking any medicine. I have no more signs of disease. So was that really true that I needed medicine forever? I see medicine is helpful, but doesn't really need to be a lifelong sentence. And looking at the stats of this, it's really remarkable that 60% of adults have taken at least one prescription medicine over the last 30 days. And then nearly 25% have taken 5 or more medications. That I myself was taking 13 daily medications. That this is all I knew was my medicines. And I had no idea that I didn't need them. That was really a belief system, a story that I picked up that, oh, I'm sick. I lost the ability to walk. I have MS. So I really got into this story. But to realize the body doesn't have a story. It is the mind that is creating this story. So we need to see, what is the story? I like to say that our natural state is joy. And if we're not joyful, we're not happy. So what is the story, and why is that true? For our true nature is one of joy, of one of happiness. So we need to inquire, like, what is the story with medication? I'm not here to advocate for or against medicine. Sometimes we need some help. But for my personal journey, I didn't need it. I was able to wean myself off of this. And I was taking those 13 medications a day, and now I'm on nothing. So how did I do this? Well, I think Dr. Gabor Mate really summed it up well when I spoke to him at a conference. He was asking me some questions about my story, my journey, and he basically summed it up. Oh, you stop taking your mind as a source of truth. Now really let this resonate with you. Is your mind a source of truth or not? We have to understand the mind is based on past experiences. The mind isn't really here in this moment. It's always future guessing. So my mind was given an identity. Basically, I took that identity as my truth, that you have bipolar, you have multiple sclerosis, you have migraines. My story attached to that identity, that I'm a sick, disabled man. And I had everything to back that up. Losing the ability to walk, chronic head pain, fluctuating moods. I had all those symptoms. But were they really just coming from the mind and my belief systems? I would say so, yes, because I stopped taking my mind as a source of truth. I learned to be here in this moment, that I'm sitting, my feet are on the floor, like fully aware of this moment. And I'm enjoying life. And Abraham talks about this a lot. If we simply enjoy life, enjoy this moment, life works out. Things come back into harmony, into balance. So we have to see, what is this mental story? And that's what I say, the easy way to inner peace is to go beyond your head trash, all those negative stories, all the trauma, all the pain from the past. We need to go beyond all of that to really step into our true essence as this vibrant soul. And this may make no sense to you, but look at all these changing bodies that you've worn throughout your life. You're no longer wearing the baby body, the toddler body, the teenager body. You're wearing an adult body now. You had all these bodies, and the one who hasn't changed is you, the one who sees through the eyes, the one who listens, the one who touches, the one who senses. We are that witness, the observer, but ultimately we are the awareness. But we get locked into our conscious patterns. So let's just see, there is a few people here watching me, and I'll see if there's comments later. Not seeing anything right now, so I can take questions later. But we really just need to just ultimately slow down and start reflecting on our life. And for me, I was not reflecting on my life. I was constantly caught in the mental programming. I have this diagnosis, I take this medicine. So I had to read everything I could about that, which reinforced my identity. I really need to have a quantum shift, as Dr. Wayne Dyer would say. That experience that defies all reasoning, that gets you to shift the way you look at things. For me, it was going on a ghost hunt, feeling somebody sitting right next to me on a bench that wasn't there. That really got my attention. Oh, ghosts are real. Before, I was just figuring it was TV entertainment, but going on a ghost hunt shifted my reality. So for a lot of individuals, they're stuck with their pain, their suffering, they're trapped in their mental loop. But we would let go of any judgment, any criticism, and to understand that healing ourselves is not about trying, it's not about effort, it's just going to keep that mind engaged. And we want to disengage the mind by simply being here. It's really that simple. That was my practice. After 3, 4 days, when I was sitting in meditation, I thought meditation means you stop thinking. So, of course, you sit quietly with the eyes closed. What does the mind do? Think. So my mind would start thinking into the story, what happened earlier today, last week, last year, whatever, or what's going to happen tomorrow, future guessing. So when I noticed the mind thinking, I'd be like, stop thinking, mind thinking, stop thinking, mind thinking, stop thinking. After 3, 4 days, I said, wait a second, wait a second. If I'm aware of these thoughts, I'm not my thoughts. So if it wasn't my thoughts, then who am I? Remember, I didn't have a spiritual practice, so I didn't have any concept of spirit, soul, consciousness. This was all foreign to me. So I needed to be reminded who I was. So I was sitting that question, well, who am I if I'm not my thoughts? Then about 2 weeks later, I got my answer. I just heard a voice after meditation or mindfulness, because I wasn't doing a formal meditation practice. My mind would attach to all those rules, sitting properly, hands, breathing. With my OCD brain, I've been so obsessed with the rules, I've never gotten out of the mind. So 2 weeks of asking that question, well, who am I if I'm not my thoughts? I just heard a voice say, perfect spirit. I'm like, that's it. My spirit is perfect. I'm not this damaged body and mind. And your spirit is also perfect. And it's trying to nudge you forward to your path, to your ideal life. But our mind is too busy trying to figure things out. And we need to relax that mind. But when I heard that voice say perfect spirit, I'm like, that's it. Then I just felt this great sense of peace come over me. I just knew all is well. And I just simply knew my health challenges were over. It's just a matter of time for the body to catch up to that reality. And it took about 14 months for the body to recover, to get off all the medicine, to restabilize the body. But it's not one of these light things. We need sometimes to work with our medical professionals and see if that is the best course of action for you. But ultimately, I like to say that you live in your body, you inhabit this body, you know what's best for you. But you really don't know what's best for you if you're still locked in your mind, because your mind is guessing. The spirit knows, the mind guesses. So if you're fully here in this moment, then you're aligned to who you are. But most of us are not here. We're caught up in the story, what's happening today, what happened last week, this identity that we have built up over time. So does medicine need to be forever? It doesn't really need to be there forever, but maybe you need some help, some assistance for some time till you start standing in your own truth. Then if you're receiving foreign organs, you may need medicine for the rest of your life so the body doesn't reject those organs. So we need to do ultimately what is best for us. And you know that answer beyond that mind, beyond that head trash, stepping into you. And it can be this simple. So medicine doesn't need to be forever unless it is forever for you, but only you know that answer. But don't try to understand from the level of mind. It doesn't know. The mind guesses. Like Albert Einstein knew that when his mind got quiet, the answers would be there. So he would take a nap with pot pans on his hands. When the pans would drop, the sound of crashing on the floor would wake him up, and his answer would be there. That's what worked for him. So ultimately, we need to find what works for you and to realize you are the master of your domain when you're fully here in this moment. If you're not fully here, the mind is dragging you all over the place. And believe me, I know it from 40 years of pain and suffering. The mind will drag you all over the place. And then when you start to learn to be present, the mind will create even more pain, even more stories, because it doesn't want to give up control. So the hardest thing with the journey is beginning, because you'll get some relief. Then the mind will come along and say, nope, we're not having this. We're not changing things, because the mind hates change. So we have to understand when we begin the journey, it does become more difficult. The stories will start to kick up. The emotions will start to kick up. The pain will start to kick up. Excuse me. This means you're going the right direction, that you're stepping into you. That's what I wanted to share today. And every Sunday, I am here at this time sharing a story, sharing some insights to help you to see that medicine doesn't need to be forever. It may or may not be, but you only know that answer when you step beyond the mind and into your essence, your aliveness. You are the energy that animates this body. And I was so fortunate not to have a spiritual teacher. With a bipolar OCD brain, I've been so focused on the rules, the requirements, the dogma, I would have never gotten out of the mind. So my practices are very, very simple. Be here, enjoy life. It's really that simple. Then you really need to learn the discernment to trust yourself. What's coming from this deeper essence and what's coming from the mind. Remember, one knows the way, one is guessing the way. So let me see if there's any questions here. But thanks for watching my live stream or listening to my podcast. I appreciate your support. And on my website, beyondheadtrash.com, I do offer a free introductory healing session to create this healing oasis where I just bathe you in this spiritual energy to diminish these negative thoughts. What Eckhart Tolle calls the pain body, all the negative thoughts, the traumas, all this stored negativity in the body, that can be dissolved. Sometimes it's like a microwave very quick, and sometimes like an oven baking a cake, just depending on where you are. I was a microwave. It was very quick for me, but most are ovens, and that's fine. There's no judgment. There's no criticism. It's simply your way of being, and your way of being is perfect. So let me see if there's any questions, any comments, and let's see the chat here. Hello, Penny. Thanks for joining me today. And for anyone else watching here, I'm here for any questions. If you need any focused healing, If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. If not, I will be here next Sunday morning. I also have my groups, the Heal Yourself Without Trying, the Beyond Head Trash, and my community where I'm live 5 times a week, the Vibrant Soul Society, a healing oasis. And the introductory rate is just $5 for the first month. So I want people to see their greater essence, that we are the vibrant soul that can mend all situations. It's not about figuring things out. So I'm just seeing if there's, I'll give another minute, see if there's any questions, or that might be it for today. So hopefully this was helpful for you. And you'll notice my talks are not very long. There's no need for long talks. There's no need for long practices. Speaking of practices, next week I'll talk about setting up our healing practice. That'd be a good topic. Developing our own healing practice that works for you. That I was fortunate. I had no dogma, no rules, no requirements. Relax, be here. That was enough. All right, not seeing any other questions or comments. So I really appreciate you joining me today. Check out my website. I send out some interesting newsletters as well. And there's a little surprise coming this week, a free gift coming. All right, well, take good care of yourself. I will see you soon. Remember to keep trusting yourself and this deeper, deeper place beyond the mind into your heart, your soul, your spirit, and simply be unapologetically you. This is enough. Bye for now. Glad you're doing well, Patty. Glad you're doing well. Yeah, hello, Kat. Hope you're having a good day. All right, I'm heading off, not seeing any questions here. So take good care of yourself. And remember, our natural state is one of joy. If we're not happy, smiling, enjoying this moment, then what is the story, the mental story, what are the expectations, and why is that mental story the truth?